Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I am going to attempt to show you how to make a hand-tied bouquet the right way. So you can use all different kinds of flowers, but if you are planning on doing your own bouquet and you want it to be a hand-tied bouquet, or if you're just starting out as a florist and you want to learn kind of the tricks to hand-tied bouquets, the best thing to do is to get yourself a bunch of some kind of dried something. Just something easy to handle. You don't have to do much prepping with it. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. I'm like, oh, I'll grab it while I can because it's fun. So to start with a hand-tied bouquet, the biggest thing to remember is to keep the stems flowing in the same direction. As soon as you switch up that direction is when it's going to shift the focus. So if you have planned to have a certain flower as your focal point and you end up moving a different flower in a different direction, your eye is going to shift from the flower you want it to look at to the one that's going in the opposite direction. It's just natural for humans to see those kinds of flaws in the pattern. So you're always going to start with your center one, straight up and down. If you want a smaller mound of flowers, you're going to choke up a little bit and hold it up here. If you want a bigger, more spread out bouquet of flowers, hold it down lower. I'm just going to go right in the middle. My hand will probably shift as I go. To do hand-tied bouquets and fresh flowers, you're going to want a lot of filler or a lot of greenery to get the flowers where you want them to go and to stay. If you're doing artificial flowers, you don't necessarily need a lot because you can kind of bend the stem if it's not pushed out to where you need it to be. And you'll see as I go. So I got my straight up and down, and I'm going to go in at an angle. So I'm going to shift it down a little bit. Whoopsies. Because I want that kind of rounded shape. If you want something more flat or fanned out, you can just go same level. But I'm going to go down a little bit, and this is going to move on me, but I'm going to go ahead and hold it there, and you can tie it off as you go along too with like a chenille stem, or even just tack it in place with some wax floral tape if you want. So I've got it like this. This guy's going in the front. Now I'm going to put this guy on the back of my straight up and down, but I'm going to kind of make an X with it. So the stems are going to flow this way, going around that way. So would that be counterclockwise? All right. And then I'm just going to keep adding then. So I'm going to go this way in the front of everything. As you can see, as I shift to hold them, everything just kind of bunches up. And that's where adding extra greenery or filler flower will help to hold those other flowers out to where you want them to be. So now I'm going to go into the back of it, and I'm going to go still counterclockwise. What's cool about hand-tied arrangements, even if you're doing like centerpieces, you can just do a quick hand-tied arrangement in your hands, trim it down, drop it into a vase of water, and it's just real easy to move along rather than cutting each individual stem and trying to arrange them one flower at a time. Or if you do it the right way, your arrangement will be able to stand up on its own. And again, I'll show you at the end what I mean. So I did give it a little bit of a turn because I'm kind of running out of room. And I'm still shifting everything down a little bit because I want that sphere shape. So like here's my level. I'm going a little bit down here. And you can kind of see it's starting to get that twist in the stems there. I do find that if you start going with your hand-tied arrangement and it's not quite going the way you want it to, it is so much better just to let go and start over again rather than trying to fix it. Flowers tend to get smushed or broken if you try to make things work. And it's always heartbreaking to let go of something you've started, but it's worth it in the end. It is cool too to use, if you wanted to do like a simple bouquet, just using all filler flower, because it always has like a nice texture to it. Filler flowers seem to. Baby's breath, limonium, even heather. If you were to put some stems of heather together in a little hand-tied bouquet, getting that nice spiral in the handle there. It's just kind of a fun bouquet to have, and it's pretty cost effective if you did all filler flowers too. And even doing just a few stems of like line flowers like delphinium, larkspur, something like that, if you did kind of more of a spiral arrangement, even if it's just a few of them, just getting that really pretty twist in it, just kind of adds interest to the bouquet, and it's just kind of a nice little touch. And when I'm arranging with fresh flowers and artificial flowers, I like to have a nice clean stem. That's why I like using like dried flowers like this to practice with, because there's no prep. But I do like removing all the foliage so that you have just that blossom at the top. Again, it keeps the handle nice and clean, and it also keeps hands from getting kind of grass stained, or even garments from getting grass stained, because often the leaves will kind of smush in the handle and then kind of stain whatever they touch. All right, almost to the very end here. All right, and then from here, so you can see you got the spiral on the handle, you got the spiral on the bottom too, and then the top you can kind of move around. You can adjust things up and down from here. I like moving them until I figure out which stem it is that I'm going after, and then you can kind of adjust from there. If I was to hold further down, it would spray out a little bit more. If I was to hold further up, you'd be nice and tight up here too. That's cool. If you're doing a like a scepter style, you could kind of have a twist into the handle, tie it off up here and tie it off down here. I'm going to tie it off where I was originally hanging onto it. So I'm taking my chenille stem or pipe cleaner. I like using these guys because you can really get a grip on them and twist them nice and tight. Maybe. There we go. All right, just give it a good crank. You can even take pliers and twist it nice and tight that way too. But once you let go, it's going to kind of shift within the wire there. So there's that. For bouquets, I like measuring about 2.5 to 2 hands down. That usually gives a nice way to hold the bouquet. You can go shorter if you want, or you can go longer, like I said, more of a scepter style. I'm going to measure about 2.5 down, and we'll give it a cut. Apparently with wire cutters instead of scissors. So we'll trim it on down. All right, what's cool about this So now you got like kind of a nice flat even little spray there, and it will actually stand up on its own. So if you wanted to do something a little fancy and do like an arrangement on the top, and then you could put a bowl with a little bit of water and set your flowers in that, and then that's your centerpiece, some candles on the side. That would be a fun thing to do. Or moving back to actually making bridal bouquets, you can go ahead and give that a little extra twist. Put your chenille stem down there, add some ribbon here, and they've got a really cool handle to kind of show off and hang on to. Making sure that whoever's carrying the bouquet feels pretty too doing it. So if they have, even if it's not very noticeable to everybody, just having them have that, you know, pretty handle, and then just something pretty to hang on to where it feels good in the hands, they feel confident. That makes all the difference. But that's it. Just, if you want to learn how to do a hand-tied bouquet, that simple. Of course, you can use flowers instead of wheat here, but if you just want to practice grabbing something simple like wheat or twigs or any kind of decorative, you know, plain stem there, just to practice on, is a great idea. So, so that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in.